All right. Good evening, everybody. I read the news, give my opinion, share suggestions, and it is up to you to make an informed, intelligent decision on which direction to move into. There's 4 rules I live by in the crypto space to have success. Rule number 1, education is key. Education is everything. Rule number 2, never invest money that you cannot afford to lose. Rule number 3, always get your return on investment back as fast as possible. Don't get greedy. And rule number 4, where do you see yourself in 3 months, 6 months, a year from now? What are you willing to do to make it happen? What vehicle of choice are you in? Make a decision, take action, and stay focused. Do not get distracted. There's so many things out there that can distract you in this space. Remember, you have limited resources. You can't be a part of everything. Not even Warren Buffett invests in every single Fortune 500 company, which means you might have to say no to some great opportunities. Now, this is not going to guarantee you success, but it will at least minimize your risk. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the most that we can ask for. What's going on, Rohan Johnson? Let me turn on screen share. Screen share should be off. You can see what I see. I'm going to cover two articles tonight, and then we're also going to talk about exchanges. Those of you that's part of our education platform, what exchanges that you should already be registered with and ready to go. So that's how you buy and sell crypto. Gotta be a part of the exchanges. What's going on, Benita Nunez, Lashana Robinson? Okay, the U.S. SEC filed charges against Bitcoin-linked firm OnePool Ltd. and its founders. I'm not too familiar with OnePool. I've heard of them, but I'm not familiar with them. So let's see if we're going to learn something new here, especially when it comes to the law. What's going on, Tony Pinkston? Anthony. The United States SEC has filed charges against OnePool Ltd., a securities dealer registered in the Republic of the Marshall Islands, and its founders for allegedly selling unregistered security-based swaps to U.S. residents, according to statements from the Commission on September 27, 2018. According to an SEC statement, international securities dealer registered in the Republic of the Marshall Islands, OnePool, and its Austria-based chief executive, Patrick Brunner, have violated the U.S. securities laws by selling security-based swaps to U.S. investors without registering as a security-based swaps dealer, getting its crypto investment product listed on a registered national exchange. For the uninitiated, a swap is merely a derivative contract that makes it possible for two entities to exchange all kinds of financial instruments. In the case of cryptocurrency-based derivatives, these products offer investors a degree of safety from the digital assets volatility. Per the SEC, in addition to soliciting investors from the United States and around the world to trade Bitcoin-funded swaps, the firm also failed to conduct any form of Know Your Customer, that's KYC, and anti-money laundering, AML, checks on its clients. Keep in mind that KYC, because we're going to talk about that later on. Investors only needed to provide a valid email address and a username to do business on the platform, and Bitcoin is the only accepted method of account funding. The financial watchdog also stated that an undercover agent with the Federal Bureau of Investigation effortlessly bought several security-based swaps on the one broker platform despite the discretionary investment thresholds being unmet. The agency's complaint, filed in the U.S. District Court for DC, now seeks permanent injunctions, disgorgement, and other penalties against the firm and its owners. Director of the SEC's Fort Worth Regional Office, Shamoil T. Shipchandler, noted that the SEC will continue proactively protecting U.S. investors on all investment platforms, irrespective of the type of currency used to transact on the platform. International companies that transact with U.S. investors cannot escape compliance with the federal securities laws by using digital currency, said the official. Per the SEC, the Commodity Futures Trading Commission has also filed charges against one broker for violating its statutes. While the U.S. is still drafting a robust regulatory framework for ICOs and the local crypto space, the SEC has been curbing the activities of rogue actors, and it seems to be winning the battle so far. On September 13th, BTC Manager informed that the SEC ordered TokenLot, the ICO superstore, and its founders to pay more than $550,000 in fines for functioning as unregistered broker-dealers. SEC cracking down again. But there's another article about the SEC, and this one I find interesting. The other day, I read an article about a new crypto lobbyist firm, where now we have lobbyists that are being paid from the crypto space to represent them in Congress. Now that you've introduced money backing crypto to congressmen, we should start seeing friendly legislation when it comes to crypto. And then this article comes out. And this is called U.S. Lawmakers. SEC stance on crypto is hindering innovation and will drive business elsewhere. This is completely opposite of what Congress was saying a year ago. What's the change? What has happened? Now Congress is on our side? Because I agree with them. I agree 100%. It seems that our agencies, the three-letter agencies, the IRS, the SEC, the FTC, the FinCEN, all those agencies don't seem to be too friendly when it comes to crypto. And that's not good for the United States, because then you're going to drive innovation and businesses elsewhere to countries that are friendly, like Australia, Japan, Germany, Turkey, etc., etc. So let's see what the U.S. lawmakers are saying. More than a dozen U.S. lawmakers just sent a landmark letter. I always read things as a lawyer. Look at the adjectives used to describe things. They just couldn't say sent a letter. They said sent a landmark letter to the SEC, asking the agency to clarify its stance on cryptocurrency to ensure that the U.S. remains a hub for technological innovation. This, ladies and gentlemen, is a turning point. That our government is officially starting to realize, hey, we better get on top of this. Current uncertainty surrounding the treatment of offers and sales of digital tokens is hindering innovation in the United States and will ultimately drive business elsewhere. We believe that the SEC could do more to clarify its position. That is powerful right there. See, we've been saying that for years, but now you've got the Congress saying it. The statement follows a powerful meeting on Capitol Hill where blockchain and cryptocurrency leaders from Coinbase, Ripple, Consensus, there's that company again. They popped up this morning. Blockchain, Fidelity, and NASDAQ. Now that's interesting. Fidelity and NASDAQ urged Congress to be proactive and support the emerging technology. That's very interesting. The bipartisan letter was created by North Carolina Republican Representative Ted Budd, Minnesota Republican Representative Tom Emmer, Ohio Republican Representative Warren Davidson, and Florida Democratic Representative Darren Soto. The letter has 10 co-signers, including David Schweikert, Republican from Arizona, Jeff Duncan, Republican from South Carolina, Alex Mooney, Republican from West Virginia, John Curtis, Republican from Utah, Ralph Norman, Republican from South Carolina. That's interesting. Andy Biggs, Republican from Arizona, Mark Meadows, Republican from North Carolina, Eric Kilmer, Democrat from Washington State, Greg Gianforte, Republican from Montana, and Sean Duffy, Republican from Wisconsin. Now, I don't know if they're talking about a bipartisan. This seems to be nothing but Republicans top and down. There's 2 Democrats. Surprisingly, though, there's no representative from California. Because California has seemed to be doing its own thing. We just passed a major law in California to implement blockchain technology for businesses. So this is a very big state for crypto because they want to keep businesses here. They got Silicon Valley here and all that stuff. But I'm surprised they don't have a representative that's backing this. It's another thing to look at. The reason why I named off where they're from is that these states would be the first to end up being crypto-friendly states. If their state elected representatives and national elected representatives are drafting this letter, then it's safe to assume that those states will be friendly to crypto. So I'm going to read those states again: Arizona, South Carolina, West Virginia, Utah, North Carolina, Washington State, Montana, Wisconsin, Minnesota, and Florida. Now, I'm going to have to read the letter. The Honorable Jay Clayton, he's the chairman of the SEC. This is written to him. He is a Trump appointee who came in charge of the SEC July of 2017. And he was there on a mission because when he showed up, he was doing everything against crypto as opposed to his counterpart at the CFTC, Denham, who is for crypto. Found that interesting. Ron Denham, I think that's his name, the CFTC. So anyways, here's a letter. Dear Chairman Clayton, we write to express our appreciation of the thoughtful and deliberate approach exhibited by the Securities and Exchange Commission to the application of the securities laws to digital tokens and cryptocurrencies. In particular, we are pleased with the approach articulated by Director of the Division of Corporate Finance, William Hinman, in a speech on June 14th. We also appreciate the proactive views expressed by Commissioner Pierce on September 12th regarding the appropriate regulation of this technology. Because the use of this technology is important to growth across many sectors of the American economy, we would like to solicit your answers to several questions related to the topic. Stop right there. What they're referring to is the SEC came out formally a couple months back, and they officially said that Bitcoin and Ethereum is not a security. And then they said virtually all ICOs, any coin started ICO process is a security because it was started by a business with the sole intent of selling an asset, with people buying this asset in the hopes of the company doing something with your money so that you can earn a profit. By definition, that's the sale of a security. And if you're going to do that, you must be registered in the states to do so. Otherwise, you get Texas and South Carolina putting up cease and desist orders. That's why I find it interesting that one of the co-signers of this is from South Carolina, Ralph Norman, and then we have one from North Carolina, Mark Meadows, and also South Carolina, Jeff Duncan. That's really interesting. They're quick to put a cease and desist order on somebody. So let's continue. And here's the thing, though. Ripple was not named in that. So Ripple is trying very hard to get the SEC to consider them not a security. And the SEC refuses to do that. In fact, the only two coins they spoke on is Bitcoin and Ethereum. All right, let's continue. We share your view that digital assets that are offered and sold in a manner properly determined to cause the offers and sales to involve securities or investment contracts must comply with securities laws. We also agree that not all digital tokens are securities. We believe that treating all digital tokens as securities would harm American innovation and leadership in the cryptocurrency and financial technology space. I agree. Therefore, we believe it is important that all policymakers work toward developing clearer guidelines between those digital tokens that are securities and those that are not. Through better articulation of SEC policy and ultimately through formal guidance or legislation, current uncertainty surrounding the treatment of offers and sales of digital tokens is hindering innovation in the United States and will ultimately drive business elsewhere. Stop right there. They're absolutely correct. And someone asked me, well, Brandon, would the Green X coins, are those considered security? No. And here's why, so that you know, And in case anybody asks, and you might be listening right now saying, what the heck is Green X? Stay tuned. You know, power in a box, solar power in a box, proof of power, electricity blockchain. Can you imagine that? Let me help you out here for a second. Green X, you cannot buy the coin. There is no ICO. So it never went through an ICO. There's only one way right now you can get the Green X coin. And that is if you purchase a mining machine that is mining the Green X coin. So this is not group mining, hash mining, cloud mining, contract mining. You are purchasing an asset that is producing something every single day that is in your control, that you own. In essence, that's exactly what Bitcoin did. The only way you were able to get Bitcoin when it first came out was to mine it. And then after that, you have to buy it off an exchange. That's exactly what Green X is doing. So by definition, if Bitcoin is not a security, then neither is Green X. Let me continue. We believe that the SEC could do more to clarify its position. Additionally, we are concerned about the use of enforcement actions alone. I like that. I like what in other words, what they're saying is nobody knows what the law is until you decide to prosecute somebody. Really? You didn't clarify anything. You're just going to prosecute, and that's how we know what's legal and what's not legal. So we're concerned about the use of enforcement actions alone to clarify policy and believe that formal guidance may be an appropriate approach to clearing up legal uncertainties which are causing the environment for the development of innovation technologically in the United States to be unnecessarily fraught. Recognizing that such guidance will reasonably take time, caution, and deep consideration, we request your reviews on the following foundational issues with respect to digital tokens to further a longer-term goal of developing formal guidance. I am 100% in agreement with this. Oh, they're not finished yet. Okay, hold on. This looks good too. Here's what they clarified. Number one, the SEC should clarify the criteria used to determine when offers and sales of digital tokens should properly be considered investment contracts and therefore offerings of securities. I agree. The public statements made by yourself, Commissioner Pierce, and Director Hinman are helpful indicia of the evolution of the SEC's views of digital token platforms. Please expand on what criteria the SEC is currently using, specific to digital tokens, to determine under what circumstances the offer and sale of a digital token should properly be considered in an investment contract and therefore an offer or sale of securities under the Securities Act and the Howey test. The various criteria set out at the end of Director Hinman's speech are helpful. Nevertheless, specific FAQ-type examples illustrating how these factors may be applied in practice could aid market participants in better understanding how these factors should be applied. Amen. An example of a digital token that is not considered to be a security is Bitcoin, whose value, functionality, and transferability is determined by a permissionless blockchain maintained by unaffiliated miners, code contributors, and spot markets for trading. Nevertheless, the marketplace for digital tokens is expanding. Other digital tokens in existence today should also be deemed to fall outside the parameters used to define an investment contract under the securities laws. I agree. In the current environment, it is unclear which other unique characteristics of digital tokens are also considered by the SEC when making this determination. Number two, do you agree that a token originally sold in an investment contract can, nonetheless be a non-security, as Mr. Hinman stated? That is a big question right there. Now you need to define that. Does that mean, what if we buy the token in an ICO? What if we buy it in a pre-mined company where the tokens are already pre-mined and it's a private sell? I mean, there's many different ways here that you can acquire a token. They need to be specific. It says, can the resultant token be analyzed separately from the original purchase agreement, which may clearly be an investment contract? Well, that's what they did with Ethereum. They even said, yeah, a token might have gone through an ICO phase, but can no longer be considered in an ICO phase as far as the token on the exchange. So if people are buying it on the exchange, then it shouldn't be considered a security. That's by their own definition. And then number 3, please describe the tools available to the SEC to offer more concrete guidance to innovators on these topics. Uh-oh. Kathy says that I'm being muffled. Am I coming through clearly to you guys, or am I being muffled? I want to make sure I'm clear. What's going on, Gerald Gardner? Or have I been muffled the entire time? I want to make sure I'm coming through clearly. All right, when considering these topics, we caution that any agency should be mindful of the speed at which the industry is developing, and that new and dynamic circumstances could render stringent guidance obsolete. As a result, any response should strive to endure future evolution of the technology. Thank you for attention to this important matter. I'm going to be watching very, very closely how the SEC responds to this, because I'm sure there'll be an article about it. So Benita says it's coming off a little bit muffled. Kathy off and on. Lashane is clear on her end. I don't know. I can't control that part. This is a YouTube thing. But I'm doing it through Zoom. So I'm speaking through Zoom to YouTube. Maybe in the snow, because if you're on Zoom and you're chatting with me, it's not being recorded on the YouTube side, because you actually can listen to me on Zoom as well. But I don't know. I'll think about that. I like everyone coming on the YouTube side. One place. All right, that is it for those 2 articles. And here's one thing I'm going to cover now. Exchanges. If you are part of KGX, it is very important that you register yourself on the best exchanges now, so that you can buy coins than waiting till the last minute. We want to be proactive on this. When I first joined the space, there was 2 exchanges I registered with. And that was Poloniex and Bittrex. My favorite, personally, is Poloniex, because that's how I was trained. That's how I learned how to trade coins, and I understand that chart better than I do Bittrex and the others. And it's not even as detailed. It's not as detailed as like Binance, Bittrex, the others. But for me, it's good enough and it makes sense. It's simple. So first and foremost, people always ask me this question: Brandon, where do I go to buy this coin? Where? All right, I should be back. Let me know in the chat box if you guys can hear me. Testing, testing, testing. We should be good to go. So let me know in the chat box if you can hear me. And I've got the screen share back up. All right. So here is what the YoBit exchange actually looks like. Okay. And you might look at this and think it's like foreign. Once you start to begin, if you're able doing your day-to-day trading, you would understand, what this means, what the chart market looks like, what BCC to BTC means. Let's say I'm going to put in MOLK. So here you can actually see the coin, what it's being bought and sold at versus BTC. So what you'd have to do is transfer Bitcoin to your wallet here. And then then you can come to the exchange and you can buy the MOLK coin based on your Bitcoin. Now, all you'd have to do, you need to register. So you would click on registration and you would fill all this out. Just follow the instructions. Did I set up two-way on my thing? I don't remember. Oh, yeah, I did. All right. We also have a training section in KGX when it comes to 2FA, which means two-way verification, so that you can't get hacked. If any exchange offers that, do it. Do not just rely on you creating a password. You want to make sure that everything is secure. So when the time is right, especially when we officially launch KGX, we will be doing live trainings, walking you through, how to sell, how to buy, what does it look like when you do it? What do all these numbers mean? How to set all this up. And you see your sell orders and your buy orders. But this is an exchange you want to register if you want to buy the MOLK. You also have, let me put in Polonius. I am not logged on, so it may not pull up, and I'm not gonna log in from here because I'm doing this live. But you know what? I can do something. Let me stop share and then log in. Show you guys something. Just give me a second here. I'm doing all my security stuff. And again, all of these steps is part of our KGX training. This is what we teach. This is actually the account when I first got started that I put $30 into. All right, let me share screen. All right, this is the account I put $30 into, and I was able to flip it. And so this lets you know your open orders, trade history. I haven't done a trade in a long time. My own personal trades. This is looking at BTC to US dollars right now. And so here's something that I look at, and this is, I don't want to get off tangent and turn this into a training, but just to give you guys an example, these lines here are what we call Bollinger bars. And you can zoom out, that's 5 minutes, 15 minutes. You can see what's looking like, what the market has been doing. Go back to the 5-minute chart. You see this bottom one is here, the top one is there. Not necessarily squeezing too much. You can look at it for the past 6 hours, past 24 hours of what's been going on. You see this squeeze that happened here when it seemed like it dropped all the way to the bottom, And then it's been going on a steady upward curve ever since then. Now, even though this is how people make a lot of money on micro trades, even when the market goes down, long term, you see over the last 24 hours, it was going up. So this is what the micro traders do. When it's down here, they buy. It goes up a little bit, they'll sell, it drops. Then they buy. Goes up, sell, it dips a bit. They buy, sell. Real big up here, high, and then they sold, drop. Then you buy. This is how micro traders work. These aren't people that's holding for the long term. So if you can make, there's people out there that's making 10, 15, 20% a day trading. This is how you can make money when the market goes up and when the market goes down. And you'll be able to recognize when you see a squeeze taking place, meaning when the top bar, the bottom bar gets real close together, squeezes, you know something's about to happen. It might break up. It might break down. These are what we would call our pips bars. The volume. So right now, Bitcoin is on the up. You look at the last 24 hours, it's been a 0.76% change. So it's been flat for the last 24 hours. The last 24-hour high, 6,632, 24-hour low, 64.78. The last price was 66.05. So this is more up to date than if you were to look at CoinMarketCap. CoinMarketCap's got it at 65.90. The very last trade was 66.05. So CoinMarketCap, I don't know who they're attached to. I'm going to have to do some research. What market are they following, whether it's a combination of markets or what? But this is for the beginners to read the charts this way. This is for a little bit more advanced. This is what I look at when I'm able to tell real quick something's about to go down. But it's still flat right now. It's like flat line. But buy and sell. This teaches you how to do that. So I'm going off track. Let me go back. Okay. So let's say someone says, I want to buy Bitcoin. What exchanges is it on? Well, you click on Bitcoin on CoinMarketCap. You click on Markets. And it's going to tell you all of these. You can buy Bitcoin on all of these exchanges. You just have to set up an account. The first step is you have a wallet. You buy Bitcoin on the wallet. You then go to that wallet and you transfer it to your wallet. You see here it says deposits and withdrawals. That's where you're going to send your Bitcoin to. Once you send your coins there, it's going to pull up in your balances section. So right here, it would say, you know, what type of Bitcoin, buy, how many Bitcoin you have. So on this account, I've got 0.0048 Bitcoin. Then, what do I have on this account? No, I'm not showing that. I forgot being recorded. Not showing that. Anyways, so let's go back to CoinMarketCap. So what exchanges should you have and be ready for? Well, you could if you want to spend your time registering with all of them. That's your prerogative. But one, BitMEX, BitHum, but those are mostly, BitHum, bigger overseas. Binance, for sure Binance. OKX, Bitfinex, HitBTC, Poloniex, that's not here yet. HitBTC. I do have an OKX account, but not really necessary. Let's see. HitBTC, yeah, I said that one. Maybe Bitstamp. I do have an Upbit account. Let's keep going. Kraken. And where's Cryptopia? Square, da, da, da. Cryptopia is way down. Here's finally Poloniex. Definitely Poloniex. They're on the rise right now, too. They've been making some moves behind the scenes. Finance. Come on, Cryptopia. Kryptonex. Cobinhood. Yeah. This one as well. CEX.io. I have an account with that one. Cryptopia. Cryptopia. I'm going to click on that for a second. So, yeah, you want to definitely have a Cryptopia account. A lot of new coins. Cryptopia seems to be like the landing spot when they first come on the exchange, and they're getting themselves prepared, and then they move up to one of the big ones, Bittrex or Binance. The Oracle, Rob Harris is what I call him, he's always scoping out Cryptopia. And he gets wind of, you know, when a coin that's on Cryptopia is about to go to one of the bigger exchanges. And what he does is before it goes on the big exchanges, he buys a whole lot of that coin, because the moment it moves from Cryptopia to one of the larger exchanges that has more volume in it, the value of that coin skyrockets. He made a killing. I forgot on what coin he did that with. He got wind. The coin was about to move from Cryptopia to another exchange, bought up a whole lot, and made a fortune. So this is definitely one of those exchanges that it's not that big, but it has a lot of history behind it of coins like Electronium is sitting on here. So if you want to buy and sell Electronium coins, here it is. This exchange, I got to be careful how I say this. I sold my Electronium in January, and I made more money in a day than most people make in a year on a job. And I did it through this exchange. I sold my Electronium for Bitcoin, transferred Bitcoin into my other wallets, and, you know, the rest is history. So this site made me a whole lot of money, this exchange. And they all do the same things. They just have different functions. They just look different. You know, this one looks different than we were looking at Poloniex. Let me go to another exchange. Let's pull up Binance, for example. Binance is one of the biggest in the world because of the volume, the daily volume that's happening on it. So here's another exchange. Log in. I'm not going to log in, but you've got basic, you've got advanced. Let's look at the basic exchange. And again, I remember when I was looking at the stock market back in the day and all the ticker symbols, it looked like Greek to me. I couldn't understand it, and I got frustrated. Crypto can almost be seen the same way. If you don't know what these base pairs means, ADA, Cardano to Bitcoin, when you get yourself in it, this is why it's trial and error. Remember, when me and Jairus Coleman, when we learned how to trade, and before we made our very first trade, we were scared to death. And I had $30, he had $500 in there. And it was difficult to press. And I remember doing it right on, let me go my Poloniex account. When we were right here, and I had my order in there, and to click this little button here, buy, I stood there and stared at it for like 30 minutes. And I was like, I don't know. I don't know. Should I do it? I don't know. I said, it's $30, Brandon. Hit the freaking button. And then once I got into it, I was like, oh, I get it. I understand it. Then I started reading, well, what is this new? USDC? What the heck is that? USDC. We are delighted to announce the introduction of the USD coin, trading pairs to Poloniex. USDC is a fully collateralized US dollar stablecoin. What the heck? I'm just hearing something new now. And this is brand new. It just came out. September 26th. Huh. Oh, September 27th. The pairs will be enabled by September 27th. Oh, okay, that's cool. That's another way to save your money. It's like used as Tether. But they've got Tether right here too. USDT. Well, their own version of it. Yeah, see, it's Tether. Interesting. Huh. I'm going to have to play with that. But anyways, when you start jumping into it, this stuff doesn't look like Greek anymore. You know what these symbols mean. Ripple, Ethereum, Stratus, Bitcoin Cash, Litecoin. You got Doge, Dash, Gas, XCM. You know what these mean. EOS, what they represent. So let me go back to Binance. You see how Binance looks a little bit different. But it's the same. And this is just the basic one. What if I look at the advanced? Here's the advanced. Oh, I know how to read this. I know how to read this better than the other one. Because to me, what does this look like? Buy, sell. Looks just like how Poloniex is. Buy, stop, sell. Here, where is it? The buy, exchange. Let me click on exchange. For Cryptopia. Oh, I'd have to click on a coin on how I want to do the pairs. Electronium, there you go. Buy, sell. All of them do the same thing. They just look a little bit different. Buy, sell. Sell orders, buy orders. So I'm just showing you through. Here's Cryptopia, what Cryptopia looks like. Here's what Binance looks like. Here's what Poloniex looks like. But you want to make sure you register your account because everyone has their own version of what's called KYC. Know your customer. And to know your customer, sometimes for some of you, it might take more than a day or two to get confirmed. And if you hear some news on, oh, wow, something's about to happen, I want to buy this coin, and it's sold on an exchange you haven't registered for, you might miss out because it's going to take you a couple of hours or a couple of days just to get registered on the account. And then you got to move your Bitcoin to it. So be prepared early. Be prepared early. That's the whole point of why I'm showing you this. And again, when we launch, you're going to see a whole lot more, and it's only going to be KGX paying members only. You're going to be able to see a lot of this where I'm going to, and not just me, you know, Jairus Coleman, Rob Harris, some of our other lead traders showing you and walking you through these steps. Those of you coming out to LA for this event, the Crypto Invest Summit, like Diana Townsend, I'm going to be sitting down with her and I'm going to be showing her all of this stuff. One-on-one personal. She's going to get with me and some members on her team to get prepared for, you know, what's coming. But this is definitely an event. If you're going to be in the LA area, October 22nd through the 24th, that's a Monday through Wednesday. Crypto Invest Summit. Again, look at these speakers. This is why I'm excited to get more excited. You got Steve Wozniak, Tim Draper, Kavita Gupta, Dan Moorhead, billionaires. So I want to know what's going on. This is how you stay informed. You want to be a professional in your field. Invest in your education. Just to start, it only is going to cost you $300. If you want to get the education that we're offering with KGX, it's only going to cost you $300. Get back to whoever is showing you this or shoot me a message and we'll show you how to get in and get your crypto education on. Don't be left behind. If you want to not only just survive, but thrive the rest of this century, it is a must that you have some basic knowledge of crypto and blockchain. If you do not, you will go the way of Blockbuster. That's a promise. Adapt or die is what's about to take place. All right, so that's it for Crypto Talk tonight. Tomorrow, well, we'll be back tomorrow morning for early morning Crypto Talk. And then tomorrow night, it's not going to be Crypto Talk. I'm going to be doing a New Year's resolution time. What? What are you talking about, Brandon? New Year resolution. B, message me at your convenience, off subject. First name, Shane. Shane. I know a Shane. I think you're talking about Shane from Chicago. Anyways, that's the Shane I know. Tomorrow night, I do my New Year's resolution at the end of September, not at the end of December. So I'm going to be speaking on that tomorrow night. I'll do it through the Zoom. I'll make it easy. And I will put it on YouTube, and I'll turn the camera on as well. So I hope you guys have a good evening. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Hope you learned something new. As always, that is the point. God bless. Good night. Bye-bye.